he basically purchased 6 slaves that were getting tortured by Quraysh and gave them their freedom for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And freed them. Gave them their life, gave them their dignity. And he did it only to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored him and honored his name and honored his action by mentioning him in the Quran. This ayah is talking about Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى. And that person who acted greedy and kept on making the money and collecting the money and saving the money and hold on the money, keeping it in their pocket, in their saving account, in a safe. They don't want to spend it. They don't want to donate for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't want to help the needy. They don't want to pay zakah. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى. And disbelieved in the day of judgment, disbelieved in the Jannah, disbelieved in the reward, disbelieved in the punishment, disbelieved in life after death, disbelieved in everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to believe in. Then what happened? فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. We will make him fall into sins over and over and over. And it will be a part of him and he will be a part of it. That person who did not donate and acted greedy and did not believe in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him or her to believe in, they will be led into ma'asiyah. They will be led into committing sins and falling in over and over and over. It becomes part of their life and they become weakened when it comes to doing good deeds. They will not be able to. They will be lazy. And that's why if you sin Allah, all of a sudden you're not able to do the good deeds that you used to be able to do. For example, let's say that somebody was used to reciting Quran every day. All of a sudden they start smoking. They ignored that it's haram. They ignored all that. Or they start listening to music and they ignored that it's haram. And they kept on going. Eventually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the sins overpower them and it becomes a habit and it becomes part of their life. And all of a sudden they're no longer reciting the Quran. They're no longer praying on time. They're no longer being able to do the good deeds and keep going with it. And that will lead him toward Jahannam wal-'iyadhu billah. Al-usra, that will lead toward Jahannam wal-'iyadhu billah. وَمَا يُغْنِي عَنْهُ مَالُهُ إِذَا تَرَدَّى. His money and his possession and the things that he has is not going to benefit him or help him when he's thrown in Jahannam, when he's falling in Jahannam wal-'iyadhu billah. The money, the possession, the power is not going to help that person who is choosing to not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sway away from the right path. The money and all the power is not going to be able to save him or protect him from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from falling in Jahannam wal-'iyadhu billah. إِنَّ عَلَيْنَا لَلْهُدَى. إِنَّ عَلَيْنَا لَلْهُدَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who clarified the road toward the Islam, toward the Surat Al-Mustaqim. He's the one who clarified it by sending the prophets and messengers to deliver and teach and preach and explain. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it really clear for us. If you want to go for the right path and the Islam, it's really clear. And it's proven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the miracle of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Everything is clear. Now we just have to open our eyes and see and follow and apply and obey. وَإِنَّ لَنَا لَلْآخِرَةَ وَالْأُولَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the owner of the day of judgment and the hereafter and this life. He is the creator and He is the Lord and He is the one who take care of all these things. This dunya, the way things function, the akhirah, and whatever is in between. The life, hayat al-barzakh, and all of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of all that. And He is the owner of all that. فأنذرتكم نارا تلظى. فأنذرتكم نارا تلظى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, we have warned you from a fire that is basically going in flame, bursting in flame, non-stop. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the warning, told us to stay away from it, told us to seek protection from that hellfire by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and by obeying. لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى. لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى. The only one who's going to feel the burn from the fire and the pain from the fire is the non-believer, the kafir, the mushrik. That's the only group who will actually go through it and get punished. Of course the sinners too, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His forgiveness will take them out. But the kafir and the mushrik are going to be experiencing that pain for eternity, forever. الذي كذب وتولى. What are the traits of the kafir or the people who are going to Jahannam? الذي كذب وتولى. Those who did not believe in the truth and the true message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the message that He sent to all prophets, and he or she chose to basically avoid obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ignore the Islamic faith and decided to go for the wrong and false religion or way of life. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. وَسَيُجَنَّبُهَا الْأَتْقَى. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to protect the muttaqeen from Jahannam. He's going to protect them and survive them from that. And also some of the scholars of Mufassirin said that وَسَيُجَنَّبُهَا الْأَتْقَى, again it's talking about Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, that he will be protected from hellfire because he is the one who seeked refuge from Allah, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the hellfire, and he is the one who purchased the slave and gave them their freedom for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to protect him from the hellfire. الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى. الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى. The person, and again it might be talking about Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, but it's also talking about anybody who follows in the footsteps of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, the one who gives his money and the one who donates for charity and pay his zakah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely. All he wants is the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He does not want anything else. وَمَا لِأَحَدٍ عِنْدَهُ مِنْ نِعْمَةٍ تُجْزَى. When he's donating for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's not trying to compete with anybody and he's not getting rewarded from anybody. Nobody's gonna give him a reward for his noble work. Nobody's gonna give him that Nobel Prize or whatever it is that people get when they do something good for humanity. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu and anybody who follow on his footsteps, when they're doing their charity, it's only sincerely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't want anything from anybody. They don't want anything from anybody. إِلَّا ابْتِغَاءَ وَجْهِ رَبِّهِ الْأَعْلَى. They don't want any reward except from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except from the Creator Azza wa Jal. وَلَسَوْفَ يَرْضَى. وَلَسَوْفَ يَرْضَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing in this beautiful ayah to please Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu and to please anybody who follows on the footsteps of the Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The person who donates for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believe in the day of judgment, do the da'wah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I promise that they will be happy. I promise them happiness and luxury. I promise to please them. Imagine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I promise to make them happy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not break His promises. That's a guarantee from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and people who follow him to be pleased by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all the reward and gifts that he will get in the Jannah inshaAllah.